So here we are. We are live. Welcome back to Go Again Gaming. My name is Az, and today I'm joined by long-term friend Tom, Magic the Gathering player. How's it going?
Hello, Az. Yeah, all good. Cheers. Thank you. It's been a while since we video called.
No, hasn't it? Yeah. And we're talking about none other than Magic the Gathering yet again. And it's nice because over the last sort of year or so, had this channel for about a year now. I've literally just exclusively played Fab, and it's a single player experience. We were playing a lot of and covering a lot of commander based content, so it's just nice to jump back in and just talk about a different game. I think that's what this channel is doing is branching out to other games now that I've established what I want to be doing really. So good to have you back.
Well, yeah, no, thank you. I'm very glad that you've to get the call back up. That you didn't just think, well, he was a shit host before. Let's get someone new in.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a good time to jump back in because I think we were speaking about this set before, or maybe not. I'm not sure when we stopped, but
This was on the horizons when we stopped. I can't remember. We stopped around the Innistrad sets coming out.
Yeah.
But we knew what was coming. So we knew that the Return to Kamigawa was coming. We knew the Streets of New Capenna were coming, but we didn't really have any information on it. We didn't really know what it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we last stopped.
But it's a great time to jump back in.
Yeah, I think it's been a good year for Magic. Well, they've had a bad year, and I think they're on the way back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Kamigawa set has been regarded as one of the best draft sets in a long, long time. So obviously good gameplay, and more importantly, like the return of the podcast, there's the return of the Pro Tour.
Yeah, and it's quite a hot topic. Like obviously, I'm on Twitter quite a lot these days, and a lot of the flesh and blood Magic circles do cross over a bit.
Yeah.
And because of the success of the flesh and blood competitive scene, I think it's given Wizards a bit of a kick to sort of establish what basically Fab has just picked up and run with what their system used to be like. So it'll be. I don't know the ins and outs of how this works. Maybe you do, but it'll be interesting to see how this how this competitive scene is in Magic the Gathering now, because they did drop it. They dropped it, didn't they? Completely.
Yeah.
So
And I think you're right. I don't know for sure, but it does definitely seem like Wizards dropped it. All the pros went, okay, we'll just go play Flesh and Blood instead.
yeah.
And they've got a really good pro play structure that we like. And then Wizards were like, oh, okay, we'll just copy it again. So yeah, basically the structure is back to the old sort of Pro Tour structures, sort of people used to know it back in the day.
Yeah.
So you can now qualify through. So it starts off at your LGS local game store hosts a qualifier event.
Yeah.
From there, you then go to your regional championship. So ours will be like a European championship.
Yeah.
And then if you do well enough there, you get invited to the Pro Tour. And then if you do well enough there, you get invited to the World Championships.
Yeah. Very much similar to how the flesh and blood structure is, and I think they modeled it on what they used to have. So are you saying that the structure of the Pro Tour now is exactly the same as what it used to be?
It's not quite exactly the same, but it's much more linear. It's just you go to a local event, you go to a bigger event, you go to a bigger event, you go to the top event. They initially didn't really announce much about GPs. Obviously, GPs used to be like a good stepping stone, a good qualification route to the Pro Tour. But they have confirmed there are going to be GP-like events.
Yeah.
So basically, for those who don't know, the GP it's sort of like a big open event. Anyone can sign up. They used to have like one. Well, I don't know if they had one or two a week before.
But a lot of side events and stuff as well.
Yeah. So like there was the main event going on, but then if you didn't necessarily want to do that, or you lost and you weren't sort of going to qualify through that, there's then just constant drafts on the side, constant commanders games on the side, and then they'd have like semi structured stuff as well. Like, God, back in the day, they used to have like really good like flashback drafts. You could go there and do like an old school Ravnica draft and stuff, which made me always question: have they actually just been secretly printing stuff? Like, how did they keep having old boxes of Ravnica at these events?
Just stockpiling
and
the
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, like either. So I feel that Wizards sneakily just printing things and just giving them to GPs. Don't know. That's our little conspiracy for the day.
Yeah. And that's what you can come to expect from the Pass the Turn podcast, even on this platform, is that there's going to be conspiracy theories and tinfoil hats all over the place.
It's always a tinfoil hat time.
There is, yeah.
Um,
So we're just going to switch over to the screen now, so you can see the web page for this ready for. So I'm just switching the screen over now.
Yeah, this is specifically the European one. So I can't remember. There's like 9 regions, whatever. There's like America, South America, Europe, Asia. I don't know, but yeah, there's a handful of regions, and I think Wizards have given each region their own flexibility.
Yeah.
So like this is Europe's structure, but it won't necessarily be the same as America or possibly Asia. They've let the organisers tailor that so that it suits their sort of local base. To be honest, which I think is going to be good. I think it means. I think overall, like the structure is going to remain fairly similar. It's like LGS. You sort of go up the ladder, but I think they've let them have a bit more flexibility of how they want to do it. So yeah, this is the European one. People got confused. It's called Legacy European Tour, thinking that they exclusively run Legacy events.
Yeah.
Legacy is just like it's a big. I think it's like just a big board game shop in Italy. I think.
All right.
But it's just the name of a company, and again, each region they've basically just sold the rights to the hosting the tours, and I assume Legacy have paid like a 5-year deal, and at the end of that, they can either retender, buy it again, or it will be then called the Magic Madhouse European Tour, whatever. So like, I think it's just like a shop name that's like the brand of the tour sort of thing.
Okay. 12 events throughout Europe, so this is all over the place as well.
Yeah, so these are 12 big events. Also, there'll be hundreds of the local store ones. And so far they've announced 4. So we've got Bologna, Copenhagen, Paris, and they're all going to be like the GP style events. And then Sofia, which is in Bulgaria, I found out. Didn't know that before.
Yep.
That is going to be the championship. So all the winners from Bologna, Copenhagen, Paris, all the winners there, the qualifiers, will go up to the one in Sofia.
Yeah.
So it's nice to already have that bit of structure. Like they're literally releasing more information every day. I would recommend checking out their Facebook page because that's where they seem to give like good, relevant, up to date information. Just 4 hours ago, they announced what the what's it called formats are for all of them. So in Bologna, it's going to be sealed and standard. Copenhagen's modern and sealed. Paris is modern and sealed, and the actual main event, the European Championship, is going to be Pioneer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Still haven't had too much experience with that, but
no, neither have I. To be honest, I hear good things. I understand it is very popular, and it has filled the hole that people wanted.
Yeah.
Not quite full modern, but a bit more interesting than just standard. So it's nice that this information's coming out there, and they seem to be wanting to get the information out there as quick as they can. The fact that like sort of every day they're giving us a bit more. You can't see that clearly under there. There, if I make it bigger, you see under sealed, it's called Grand Open Qualifier.
Yep.
For Bologna, and then the second event's Standard Classic Qualifier. The difference there is the Grand Open, within limits, is as many people as that want to can sign up, whereas the Classic Qualifier, it's capped at a maximum of 256 people.
Right.
So whether or not that's good, whether or not the Classic may have some sort of element of qualification to it,
yeah, probably.
Or whether it's just first come first served, or whether it's I don't know.
No, it's nice to see that they're laying everything out, though. That's what they needed to do, because obviously the competitive scene, in Flesh and Blood again is a it's everything was there from the start, so they needed to hit it at all angles straight away, and it looks like they are doing that, which is good. So people know where they can do things and how they can do things straight away.
Yeah. The thing we're waiting on is cost.
Yeah.
We don't currently know how expensive it is to attend these things, and we're not really sure how regular they are. And I assume that's because they themselves have probably been a bit cautious of that. They probably didn't want to commit and say, "Oh, we're going to put on 1,000 events this year," and then people are like, "This is terrible. No one wants to turn up," and they've wasted their time. But I think they've made the announcement. They've gauged how popular it is. It seems good, so they're probably now just trying to fight to get as many of the right events in place as they can now. Make sure they've got the right GPs in place and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say just check. The best place to check is whatever your region's regional tour website is, and it seems that's where they're sort of updating the information. So for Europe, it's Legacy, but if you go to the Magic main site, there's an announcement for everything. A big part of this, actually, to note, is they've officially killed MTG Esport.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So all of this stuff is in real life, isn't it? There's playing with the actual cards, and they're not going to be playing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. That's good. So it's all in person.
Yeah, back to tabletop.
Back to tabletop. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, they did try to brand it. They had like a Twitter handle called MTG Esports and
that's
things.
Gone.
That's officially closed. As soon as this announcement came up, they deleted all the old tweets and just put a new one on there saying,
nice.
This account is now closed. Please follow. I think it's just called Play MTG now.
Yeah.
That's just on there. It's not to say you can't play Magic digitally anymore. It's still there, and you can still qualify for big events digital. But I think they have said that the big main events will be paper-based. Which again, they used to do that before. You used to be able to qualify through MTGO, but when you got to the main event, you had to play in paper there.
Yeah. Yeah, so, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's ironing out the details on that one. And those details are still to come. But yeah, no more Magic Pro League anymore. No more whatever the one below that was called.
It'd be interesting to see what they do with coverage as well, because coverage for, again, I'm going to keep mentioning this because obviously it's the sort of genesis of the channel, but the Flesh and Blood coverage has been picked up by independent people, so maybe like the coverage for these sort of events might be picked up by Channel Fireball or whoever is doing the tournament. So I think that's a massive thing that they should also take heed of. Is people want to watch it, people want to get involved with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping that they do that.
I think they've said definitely Worlds and the Pro Tours will have full coverage. And I guess at this level, up to like the European Tour standard, it's up to Legacy themselves what they want to do, or like Channel Fireball in America. It's up to them what sort of coverage team they want to get together.
I see.
I think.
Yeah, because Legacy is the one that does Europe, but obviously there's other. Well, Legacy do all of Europe, don't they? And then there's maybe I think there's maybe a few in America. I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, because
I've got a feeling there's a separate one for Canada and one America.
Yeah. Because I know that where obviously us, the UK, fall underneath this. It's all under that Europe brand of which is Legacy. So we're just going to search it now, as you can see.
Yeah, this taking me to some very dodgy website. Oh shit! Right, I don't have to get away from this now.
Oh no! Infected live on stream.
God.
But yeah,
Phyrexia got to get rid of it.
That'll be great to see.
So I could quickly find the main. What it's called now. It's still called Esports on here. They've not updated the main website.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure they will though, won't they?
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah.
Maybe I guess this is probably still live because this is still finishing off. This year is still technically under the old system, so I guess they've got to leave it open like this, and they're letting it close, and eventually this will go, and they can start the new one now.
Yeah. Your journey to the top.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, so this is started. So this is it. If you just go to magic.gg, that's sort of where you can find like the pro. Like I say, it's obviously this year is a bit of a weird mix. They've still got to finish off last year's stuff that they've already agreed to. But yeah, overall happy, and from what I hear, everyone else seems to be happy as well. Pros seem to be happy. Like casual grinders seem to be happy because I think before when you could only get through by just absolutely nailing arena constantly.
Yeah.
I just feel like I could only really see that the same people. I feel like you had to get to the top and then you could stay there, and it was very hard for new people to break in. Whereas this model, you can have a really good year, smash through, and you're at the Pro Tour. Like, it just seems like a much easier way to sort of cement yourself in there.
So can you still qualify through digital though? Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have said you can, but they haven't given the details exactly how it will work.
Yeah.
But basically, you don't just have to sit there and grind the ladder anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so the whole sort of bronze, silver, platinum, mythic, that doesn't play a factor into this then anymore, or does it?
No, I think it will
Yeah.
to an extent, but much smaller. I think it'll be like it'll play so much less of a role. I don't know whether or not they'll have like.
Yeah. Because you like. Well,
Yeah, whether or not they'll have like opens online.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What, and you get like points or something like that, and then you go based on points. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was definitely a step in the right direction. A lot of people were, like looking at Flesh and Blood, thinking, "Oh, wow, they've just picked up what Wizards have dropped." And now that this has come back, it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic as to whether people leave Fab that were playing competitively to go back to this that they knew, for years and years. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on that front as well.
I definitely saw a few people saying that. I don't know how much in jest it was saying it, saying like it's been like Flesh and Blood, been nice knowing you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think it is more in jest. I think people that have picked it up will carry on. They'll try and play both.
Yeah, it's a weird one as well because Flesh and Blood, in comparison to MTG, you can still build a fairly interesting and decent cohesive deck in a standard format, for instance, and still win based on what you top deck or what the opponent doesn't manage to draw. Whereas in Flesh and Blood, there's no variance at all. Every card has a purpose, whereas in Magic you can still get land screwed and what have you. So what I like about that is that still the lesser people that don't have as much skill can still get quite far. Whereas in Flesh and Blood, if you're not a good player, you're not going to go anywhere. It's as simple as that. So I think the variance of it might also be a good thing competitively. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I know a lot. Variance is such like a controversial, not the right. Like, it divides opinion a lot, doesn't it? Like, some people think it's really nice to have it, and it just does break games up a bit. It does make sure that every game doesn't feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you have to play around with your deck building styles a lot more. You have to sort of, as much as you can, spread the risk of the variance. Whereas I know some people just say it's the times you do get mana screwed and flood, it just ruins the game. It just makes it a non-game.
Yeah.
So what was the point of that? Like, imagine you got to like the literal World Championship final and just drew 10 lands. Good game.
That's the flip side that can happen. Because if you don't draw the lands, you can't fuel the deck. So it's an interesting thing, and a lot of card games now are sort of removing that variance. You're not having to draw your resources to then play the game.
No,
you can
a lot of them now are the one where you just you get one resource the first turn, second turn, 3 on the third turn. It just stacks up and.
So obviously it's a very, very dated system, isn't it? So competitively, I guess as people want to, that's the thing. Like once you've experienced Flesh and Blood and you know that you don't have any variance, you just play the deck as you want to play it. Are they going to come back? It's going to be interesting to see, I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. I got quite far in. I actually achieved platinum Platinum number 2 with a Rakdos Berserkers deck from a lot of Kaldheim cards in. And I thought that was pretty good. So it's good. It's just nice to see
that is good.
Weird decks like that, which I haven't seen at all on Arena, we're still pummeling through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like that side of it. Whereas in Flesh and Blood, there's 3 decks at the moment. That's what you play if you are a competitive player. Which, you know, another thing is as well, with Flesh and Blood as well, it's an eternal format straight away. So everything can be played from the get-go. Whereas you know, with Standard, it's rotation. So that's another thing as well. Whereas the Flesh and Blood card pool is still quite small. So you get shoehorned into certain heroes. But then you got what format is this then? Is this isn't Standard then, is it? The Pro Tour stuff. This is Pioneer,
So
or is it mixture?
it's going to be on rotation. It can be anything. They have said. They have said what the first ones will be. I think it is all Pioneer. I think that this first section is going to be Pioneer. But yeah, they could have a modern tour like Pro Tour. They could have a standard one. Another good thing they have said for sure is they're bringing back limited into the high level pay.
All right.
Whereas before, I think
Like
part of the MPL
well.
they dropped it off. Yeah, exactly. A draft, which a lot of the pros say is like where it shows like they believe that's where like the best people do thrive is in limited, like being able to read the packs, being able to read the table and build the best deck and play the cards that aren't necessarily the strongest, getting the most out of your cards all the time. Whereas in constructed, you can make sure your deck is stacked with 60 really powerful cards. Whereas limited, you've got 40 cards, possibly 10 or 20 of them aren't actually that good. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but like there will be a handful that aren't that good, that you need to play to their absolute strengths.
Yeah, it's definitely a completely different skill is draft and reading the table and reading what signals people are sending you from maybe 2 or 3 seats away as to what they could potentially playing as a result of what they've left you, sort of thing. So it's yeah, I've had a few experiences with that from Flesh and Blood drafts, and I haven't played any MTG drafts, but yeah, it'll be interesting to yeah, it's a completely different ball game. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So you can get points and experience or whatever you want to call it in this from different formats then to climb the ladder by the sounds of it.
Yes, I think so. I think so. If you are really good at Pioneer but not necessarily so good at Standard, I think you probably could choose your path.
Yeah.
And try and stick to Pioneer as much as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, once you get the higher to the top you get, the less sort of format variation there is, and you have to just play whatever worlds it is. You can't just turn up there and demand you're playing Pioneer.
Yeah.
But you could travel to maybe not your local game store, but one just drive an hour to one that's nearby, that's maybe running the Pioneer start, then qualify. I guess even once you get to the European level. But again, I think there's 4 a year, so you could say, okay, this like if this one's all about Pioneer and you know you don't like Pioneer, you just okay, this quarter I'm going to take off. I'm not going to try and win this one because I know once I get to the finals, I'm not going to do well at Pioneer. But I know next one's going to be Standard, and I've got more of a chance there. So you sort of like, so I'm going to take 3 months, not necessarily off, but 3 months to just almost like train and practice. In a different way.
Yeah, that's similar to what happens here as well. Obviously, you've got the classic constructed format, and you've also got the blitz format. So obviously, classic constructed is the 40 life, longer games, and obviously you have blitz, which is the 20 life, short games, more of a race sort of style decks.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have different. We're in skirmish season at the moment, which is the smaller decks, but then obviously classic constructed is coming back soon as well. So people that want to just it's like obviously you can treat different formats as a little bit of a palate cleanser, can't you, before you get back to your main thing. So yeah, that's good if they are going to do that.
Yeah, and that's something that's really good about Magic, and like I said, like you said about Flesh and Blood, different formats is you can be sick of Magic, sick of it, but really it's only really sick of Standard. So you can go and do some drafts, or you can go and play Commander. You're still playing Magic, but it does feel like quite a different game. Depending on which format you are playing.
Yeah, that's good. Nice, yeah. That's very, very promising about the competitive structure being picked back up again after they can see the success that people wanna. They want to they want to travel. They want to go to these events. They want to.
Yeah,
They
I
want to
think.
do things.
Yeah, I say I obviously we'll never know for sure, but I think a lot of Magic players can thank Flesh and Blood for reigniting and
Absolutely.
showing that it is what people want.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, just going to see.
so
It's
yeah,
going to be interesting to see, what happens with regards to the people that are playing competitive Flesh and Blood. Will they drop it? Will they play both? Because they wanna have more options to become a pro in whatever scene, and I think as well, 'cause there's a lot of crossover with any card game really. Playing Flesh and Blood has made me a better Magic the Gathering player, and playing Magic the Gathering has made me understand and realise what Flesh and Blood's about. So there's loads of crossover there. So you can learn from both games, which I think is good. So yeah, very exciting news. That's good. Lovely.
all good stuff.
Yeah.
So should we move on and talk about demons? Aaron's
Absolute
favourite
demons.
subject.
My favourite subject. Yeah. So yeah,
It's got a GCSE in it.
I've got a GCSE in it, A level. So yeah, demons. For those who don't know, who is watching this now or in the future, yeah, demons are my favourite creature type. They've always have been, and this is a plane that is governed by 5 demon families from the shards of Alara wedges, isn't it?
Yes.
So
Yeah. So it's basically it's a city. Just unlike Ravnica, the whole plane is literally a city. Here, it's just the main thing on the plane is this city.
yeah,
The rest of it's quite a wasteland. So this city that's run by 5 demon families, and we've already been introduced to 3 of them
yeah,
in cards.
we have.
So the first one is the Cabaretti, which you'd probably know as Naya,
Yep.
which is Jetmir, Nexus of Revels. So for 1 red, green, and white, you get a legendary cat demon. Creatures you control get +1/+0. +1/+0 and have vigilance as long as you control 3 or more creatures. Creatures get +1/+0 and have trample as long as you control 6 or more creatures. Creatures get +1/+0 and have double strike as long as you control 9 or more creatures.
Yeah. So obviously creatures matter, creature numbers matter, but that is ridiculous. That's a massive payoff there, isn't it? When you're in Naya colours as well, you're loving the token generation in Naya, aren't you? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
So this deck builds itself easily.
So I saw people saying basically this is a 4-mana Crater Hoof, essentially.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, obviously it's a little bit weaker because it's not. I can't remember what Crater Hoof is to play. I think 9 mana or something.
Wow, something like that. Yeah.
7. But yeah, basically like it's a reduced cost, much easier to play. And yeah, obviously like although Jetmir itself won't be attacking, but if you've got a horde of tokens ready, and then you just fire them off as +3/+0 vigilant trample double strikers.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
You're gonna be doing a lot of damage and winning a lot of games there and then.
Oh yeah.
And the fact they've got vigilance, even if you don't win, you're gonna be able to defend yourself.
Yeah, I think vigilance is the key thing here, because you can swing and just not worry about having to worry about crackbacks, because the first strike obviously gives you protection in a sense as well, because if they're big, which they probably will be, the creatures that are going to try and run into you are going to get hit first and therefore die.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah, it's a good card, and obviously great in the colours that it's in. Are these so these demons are actually in the set, aren't they? These ones, they're not the commander decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, these aren't the commanders.
Yeah.
These are just normal mythics.
Andrew saying story seems nice from the Magic historians recap/retelling. You know what he's referring to there?
I know all about the story.
Oh, okay.
I've read those stories, front to back.
Is there a general summary of the story that you can potentially give us, or is it too complex?
I can basically run through it. So it starts off, Elspeth's going home.
Okay.
So Elspeth didn't before now didn't know where she came from. She knew she lived in this prison as a kid, and then planes walked away. And her and Ajani have been trying to find out where she grew up. And while Elspeth was dead in Theros, Ajani found Capenna and said, "I'm pretty sure this is where Elspeth lives." So that's why she first went there to try and find home.
Right.
And she was wandering around, and then she joined the Maestro gang because the Maestros are like art collectors and art dealers, and they have this big museums. And she realised if she wanted to know about the past, she'd have to go there to sort of get information. So then she ended up becoming friends with the boss, and the sort of storyline going on is that there's this drug. It's not a drug according to wizards, but it is. But it's just booze, really. It's just alcohol.
Yeah.
But this magical potion that you drink, and then you get really strong and powerful, and it does everything, heals you, and everyone drinks it at parties, and it's basically just alcohol.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, and it's called Halo. So, also all these demons like to drink the halo of an angel or something.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a mystery of what this Halo stuff is. But then as Elspeth's there, there seems to be this thing that the Halo's running out,
Right.
and all of the different factions are doing something to try and hoard it. And then there's rumours that one of them has found a new source that they can create Halo.
Right, okay.
So then, now some spoilers. So if you don't know spoilers, click away. But essentially, they have someone that can just make it. Just this random girl that can touch a bottle and it'll fill up with Halo. And Elspeth meets her a few times before she knows that that's what she can do. And she just sort of comes across. I thought like they were trying to play off like she's a bit like a stroppy teenager sort of character.
Yeah.
But then it turns out actually she's basically in a prison. Like they won't let her out. She's always got like these friends with her that are actually just her guards that don't let her do anything. And she's just there to just keep generating more and more of this Halo stuff for them.
Yeah.
So Elspeth decides she's going to save her. At the same time, while this is going on, Obnixilis turns up, and he's just fucking angry. He's just there, and he thinks, "I'm a real demon.
Yeah.
You lot are basically imposters at this point.
Pretty much.
I'm just going to take over again because you lot are weak as fuck." That's pretty much Obnixilis' view.
Yeah. Yeah.
At no point in the story does it explain why Obnixilis wants to do this. I don't know if he's just living life, just wants to go as he likes to. He just goes plane to plane, tries to take over. Whether or not he actually wanted the Halo at any point, it's never really clear. It's just Obnixilis is there, and you know that he's going to try and kick ass.
Do you reckon there'll be Obnixilis in the set then? There's got to be, hasn't there?
I think so. I think he was a big enough character to make it worthwhile.
That's right then. We will see Obnixilis.
So Elspeth's there. Obnixilis is there. Elspeth runs into Vivian, who she's never met until now, and she's like, "Oh, hi, I'm a planeswalker as well." And like this Halo shit's getting real.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, I've got two friends here as well that are trying to sort out this Halo problem." And she goes, "Yeah, who's your friends?" "Tezzeret and Urabrask."
Oh God. What's
well,
Urabrask doing?
You can bloody imagine what those cheeky buggers are up to.
Yeah.
But Tezzeret's basically saying that he reveals that he definitely is the one that's transporting Phyrexians across the planes using the planar portal. Right. He confirms it, and he says it's now corrupted. He said since doing that, it's gone like this weird, oily black color.
What the portal has.
And it's yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But basically, Elish Norn's making him do it, and he implies that he has moved a fucking ton of Phyrexians around. Like, we've seen Jin-Gataxis pop up, and we've seen
Voronclex.
What's the green guy called? Voronclex pop up.
Yeah.
But he implies he's been transporting armies at a time, but we don't know where. But Urabrask doesn't like Elish Norn and is trying to lead a rebellion, trying to form a rebellion of Phyrexians against Elish Norn. And for some reason has got Tezzeret to send him here so that he can get the Halo. And then, because basically it then transpires that Capenna was once like a nice, idyllic place to live, a bit like Bant was, like just very like high fantasy style.
Yeah.
And then all the fucking Phyrexians invaded and killed everything apart. And then so there were loads of angels on the plane. They tried to fight back. They realized they were losing, so they made a deal with all the demons.
Yeah.
And said, right, let's build like a mega city that's super safe from the Phyrexians, and then we'll kill all the Phyrexians. And the demons said, yeah, that's a good idea. Then as soon as the city was built, they said, fuck you, angels, we're going to kill you.
Oh, brilliant.
And they killed the angels basically to make Halo, I think is what's implied.
Yeah, makes sense.
So demons did that. There's then it says Halo, there's angels that are now dead. Elspeth wants there to be angels again. It's all just madness. But it's good.
Cool, though,
it was good story.
Yeah.
Good story. But it did end a bit abruptly. So the last story came out today.
Yeah.
No more mention of Tezzeret. Tezzeret's just said, right, he just said, oh, I've got to go back and see Elish Norn now, because if I'm away too long, she gets suspicious. So he just buggered off.
Right.
Urabrask was left. He's lived. So Capenna is like a city built on many levels on top of each other.
Yeah.
Right at the bottom is like the very old like castles and stuff. And Urabrask is hiding down there.
Right.
Asking Vivian to get him Halo. And it's a bit unclear whether or not the Halo is healing him or killing him. And we don't know which one he wants it to do, and we don't know which one it is doing.
All right.
So, but as far as we know, he's just down there. Vivian and Elspeth at the end piss off. So Vivian hasn't gone back to help him. She's forgotten. She's seen Elspeth. She's gone. So I don't know what Urabrask's up to. He's basically because like all of the Phyrexians, all of their living components die when they're transported through Tezzeret's portal.
That's right, yeah.
And only their like mechanical components survive. So Voronclex had to hunt in the wilds of Kaldheim to sort of grow stronger, and Urabrask is significantly weaker than Voronclex in every single way, so had to get someone to help him, and it sounds like they got the Halo to help him. So yeah, he's just there. We don't really know what he's doing.
But he's a good guy, though, really.
Yeah, he is.
He was always job one out, wasn't he, on the original story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was, and again, it was unclear whether or not Elish Norn had killed Urabrask back in the day.
Yeah.
So this one confirms that it didn't. Urabrask also mentions briefly there's Mirrens still alive on New Phyrexia, which gives us hope that Koth is still running about.
Yes.
So yeah, it sounds like Urabrask in his little area, he's let all the humans and natives of Mirrodin live and be happy and try and train his army and stuff.
Yeah. Andrew saying, in abbreviated commas, good guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's as good as you could hope a Phyrexian gets.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hope we do get to a point though where they're like, "Oh yeah, Urabrask, you're the good guy," and he's like, "Yeah, I still like to eat babies." And, oh, for fuck's
sake, you just let yourself down there.
I hope I hope there's a thing where like they almost forget that he is actually just still Phyrexian, and although he may not be Elish Norn's ally, he is still not a nice guy. I hope we do get to a point of that.
Redemption arc for Urabrask. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Well, there we are. There's a side tangent. There's a side tangent of the podcast so far. The absolute story of going behind the Capenna set here.
Like I said, I would recommend checking it out. It's good.
Yeah. Nice.
And there's two things that did annoy me though: the speed in which this has all happened. So it says basically, when Elspeth was a child, there was still a lot of, well, not loads, but there were still pockets of Phyrexians about, and she lived in this, like, outside of New Capenna area. She lived in Old Capenna, and there's all this sort of mayhem going on. When she goes there today, and it's revealed she's only like 20s, maybe 30, so maximum like 20 years later, no one knows about Phyrexians anymore, and barely even remembers angels.
Yeah.
So like, it's quite like, so on one hand it says like Zander, who's one of the demon lords, is like hundreds of years old and he can't remember the angels and things like that. But at the same time, Elspeth's only 20 years old and she knew about Phyrexians. So I don't know where the sort of the imbalance is there. I don't know what happened. And also the fact this whole story of New Capenna, Elspeth says it happens over the course of a couple of weeks. She goes, "Oh, it was only a couple of weeks ago. I didn't know anything about this plane either."
Oh, bloody hell, yeah.
So she comes there. It very first thing it mentions she's had about 10 jobs because she can't keep a job down because she's a bloody busybody.
Yeah.
She then infiltrates one of the demon families and gets high ranking enough that the like head of the family demon supports her. She then infiltrates a second family, not quite to such a degree, but infiltrates them enough that they trust her to employ her, and then kicks shit off of Nixilis. That's just a couple of weeks. Like, what's happened? Like, on these planes, they always go, "Oh, this has been going on for hundreds of years." Yet in 2 weeks, Elspeth can fuck it all up.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah, that does seem a bit strange, doesn't it? How it can all kick off straight away.
It just, like, I know they got to be a bit careful, like timeline things, but like, why wasn't it like, okay, she tried to live there for like 3 years. She was just trying to live like a normal life, and then she lived with one of the families, and then it all kicks off after he's lived there for like years. But no, it's got to be. Oh, she turned up, went fucking mental, pissed off home again. So, but yeah, it ended with them taking some Halo off to Ajani and the rest of the Gatewatch, and they can see how they can weaponize it against the Phyrexians.
Okay, there's the MacGuffin for you. Then there's the weapon that's going to be used. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they've got a handful of weapons now. They've got the Silex bomb in Khan. They've got this, and they've got whatever Urabras can get them.
The blood of 1,000 babies, probably.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out what his like actual evil trait is. And they're like, shit, why did we trust him?
Cool. So a bit of a Capenna story in a nutshell, but obviously you can go and check it out on the website. It came out in an episodic nature as well, did it? Every week or so.
Yeah, so every day for the past. It's like I don't know if it was 3 came out last week, 2 came out this week. Well, each day there was 2. There's like a main storyline. In fact, is my screen still sharing? Is it?
Yeah, it's still sharing. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to the Magic website, click story.
Yeah.
Takes you to here. So you've got 5 episodes of the main story.
Yeah.
And then you've got 5 side stories. Some of which are Vivian and Tezzeret.
Yeah.
Some are completely unrelated. Just give you a bit of background information on how the families work. But normally it hints at a lot more, like in the story, but it doesn't flesh it out. Like one of the families, like their thing is, they believe in this doomsday apocalypse. They basically knew that what was going to happen, and they'd stockpiled loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of this Halo. I guess that's probably going to come in the future. Actually, I've just figured it out, Aaron.
Yep.
Thank you very much. So when the Gatewatch realise, fuck, this works. We need as much Halo as we can get. Elspeth goes, oh yeah. Everyone there's got like loads and loads of it. They all think there's none left, but it's because they're all just sat on it.
Yeah,
so they'll go there and tell them we need it. They might have some sort of little fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what that's going to be.
Nice. Cool. Andrew saying, yeah, because the Silex bomb went so well last time.
It did. No, it wasn't Silex Blast of why. I'll say Tezzeret, but it's not Tezzeret. Teferi had to go into hiding, but that wasn't the Silex Blast, was it? That was them trying to rift. They tried to put 2 planes on top of each other.
Oh, did they?
And then Teferi ended up the bad guy in that story.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah, I imagine so.
He was only trying to save everyone.
Teferi's Protection, best card.
Exactly, yeah. It is that exact card of why everyone hates Teferi.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he was misunderstood.
Yeah. So that was the story. Yep. So again, you can go and check that out on the website and the episodic natures that it comes up there, side stories and all.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I do reckon they are. Yeah, there was like a nice little set of stories. Just annoyingly, most of what I said there is like the last paragraph at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they really skimped over the detail of the Angels versus Demon War. That was just like a sentence. Then, I don't know, just like most of that, like loads of the end information is just right there. Like, I know, I don't know. I feel like they could have made it a bigger part of the story and more of the exploration, but it's just at the end, Elspeth finds out all this information.
Yeah, it's just a big info dump, isn't it? Yeah. That's the yeah. It's the same with like
I guess that's...
the Kaldheim story. Like there was the last story that I really read. You know, it felt like it was rushed a little bit.
Like the Tybalt one, where it was suddenly like, and this is what Tybalt's done to get here.
Yeah.
And really, that could have been... I don't know whether that's the issue with them trying to condense it into like just basically 5 chapters, rather than like being a full novel sort of thing.
That's the thing.
But I feel like there must be a way of getting it done a bit better.
Yeah. That's cool though. At least they're addressing it now, rather than just leaving it. At least they're addressing it, even if it is in short little chunks like this, so you can make of it what you will. But yeah, seems good.
Yeah.
Cool. What we got next on here then? Well, back to the cards, I guess.
So yeah, but if we go back to the other demons, so we had Jetmir. So Jetmir is the one who has the slave girl.
Yeah.
So the cat demon has his little pet slave who can make the halo, and it turns out she's an angel at the end. And also, there's a weird connection there. She can see things glow, like anything angelic. She sees glowing.
Right.
And then towards the end, Elspeth starts to see things glow, as if like she is also maybe an angel.
Yeah. Well, if her backstory's not really confirmed, maybe she was. Maybe she was an angel at some point. Makes sense, given her background and her abilities. Maybe she does have some sort of angelic gifts.
Makes
sense.
So, yeah, interesting to see where it goes. Like, I feel they really did flesh out Elspeth well, because unfortunately for Elspeth, a lot of her things happened in Theros.
Yeah.
And Theros has always been when they've fucked up the story.
Yeah.
Like there's like, oh, we'll have novels. Oh no, fucking nothing for Theros. Oh, we'll start doing some like stuff again. Here comes Theros Return to Death or whatever it was. Oh, well, let's just fucking do nothing. Let's pretend we don't do stories anymore.
Yeah.
So it was nice. They really did fill it in quite well. For even I didn't know half the stuff they were revealing about Elspeth in this. Like Daxos is her lover. She had to kill Daxos in a fit of blinded. Like she was like tricked into killing him.
Right.
And this, and it's like, no one knows about this because you don't fucking write it down anywhere sensibly.
No.
So I'm glad they have now sort of got this somewhere in a what's it called? Legitimate format.
Yeah, it's a consistent,
and it's not just
consistent medium at least, whether it is condensed or watered down or what. At least we know what's going on to a certain extent. And we can fill in the gaps, I guess, most of the time. So yeah, we had that guy. Then obviously we got this guy who's been making the rounds on Twitter, and that's Zander. So obviously this is the Grixis demon. So a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, wow, this is just a feel bad in Commander." I don't think it is really at all, to be honest.
Yeah. So I feel like the day when it was released, everyone was like, "Oh no, this is the worst thing to ever happen to Commander, and no one's ever going to be able to beat it." And then the next day it was, "Oh, actually, it's 7 mana. No one cares."
Exactly. Yeah, 7 mana, and can you enlarge it in any way at all? That one?
Oh, let's see if I can go to an actual functioning website of Scryfall.
There we are then.
Rather than, does that make it bigger? A little bit, not a lot.
A little bit. There we go. Lovely. Real time problem solving. So yeah, Vampire, Demon, Noble. So yeah, 3 creature types, which could potentially matter. When he enters the battlefield, target opponent discards half their hand rounded down. So that's pretty good. When he attacks, defending player mills half their library, rounded down. And when he dies, target opponent sacrifices half the non-land permanents they control, rounded down. So the key thing about this is that it's target opponent. It's not all of them. So in Commander,
it's only one person at a time.
Yeah, in Commander, you just do the one thing to one person, depending on what the table state is. If you're looking at it from a Commander perspective, when he enters, you say, "Oh, this guy's in the or girls in the commanding position," you discard half their hand. And it's still not the entire hand. If it was the entire hand, then maybe. But and again, when he attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded down. Sometimes that can be a good thing for some people, giving them access.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, any reanimated deck is happy with that, and even if you're not, mill's nothing. You haven't lost anything.
No, you haven't lost anything.
Then the cards that you mill may have just been at the bottom of the deck that you never would have drawn anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Half the time.
And then what you've also got on here is basically a form. Basically, just says hexproof, because if he dies for whatever reason, you're going to punish the person who just killed him.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to kill him at all. So it just says hexproof or indestructible. Basically, that's what it says. Because nobody wants to kill it.
Yeah, exactly.
Andrew in the chat just said Blade of Selves. So what does that do? That copies it, and whenever he attacks, you mill everyone instead. Is that right? Gives them myriads, doesn't it? I think Blade of Selves.
Helps if I can spell it.
Yeah. I remember wanting to use this card with multiple other things.
So whenever it attacks, for each opponent other than the defending player, you create a token that's a copy that's attacking a player. That player or planeswalker they control. So basically, you just get to create a copy of him. So, but all that really does is copy, obviously, the middle ability.
Yeah,
that lets them. It just mills everyone, which I'd say out of the 3 abilities is the one that affects people the least.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, unless you use that to build this as a Grixis mill deck sort of thing.
Yeah, Grixis mill, and then you can reanimate out of their graveyards and all that sort of thing. And then also another thing which would be very good in this, if you want to go down the absolute arsehole route, and that's using the Lithoform Engine and Stranic Resonators, which double up the triggered abilities.
Lovely stuff.
So you could if you want to be a dick about it, you can. But I think the discourse that we've seen on various platforms, I think is just not needed really. Because if you see a Lord Zander the Collector deck putting down Stranic Resonators and Lithoform Engines, you know what's going to be going down.
Yeah, they become public enemy #1 long before they sort of get a chance to do it all.
Yeah,
and I think we've seen from the recent big CEDH tournament that this is very unlikely to touch CEDH in any meaningful manner.
No. Yeah.
So
Andrew's saying that the Blade of Selves also hits all of the other triggers, which is correct. Obviously, all the tokens would enter the battlefield, and when they die.
Oh, yes, of course. You sacrifice them at the end; they die. Yeah, fair enough. Actually, no, that is pretty. Well, again, I still don't think it's amazing, but yeah, it makes this a functional card. No, it makes it good for sure.
Yeah, again, it's like. If you see them playing Stranic Resonators, Blade of Selves, you know what's coming. You know, Blade of Selves costs what, 4 mana. So they play a Blade of Selves, 2.
Yeah, 2 and then equip a 4.
You can see it coming from a mile off. Then in that case, because Zander costs 7, you know that there's going to be some shit fuckery when the Blade of Selves comes down. So you, so you know that you have to target that player if that's their aim. So yeah, again, just don't think it's. I think it's really good. I think it's really good, really cool to build around. But you can either go the jank version or the ridiculous version.
Yeah. I wonder whether or not it will be in some sort of control deck in standard.
Of course,
I
yeah,
don't
standard.
think it will. I don't think it will. But part of me did think, well, I don't know. Will this be the control finisher, in some way?
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah. When you, it's a big haymaker. You play if you get to play this, you disrupt their entire hand. When it attacks, you could potentially kill them in 2 turns with that trigger, and then if it dies, then they're going back. You're rewinding the clock on them 4 or 5 turns. So yeah, it's definitely a finisher.
Yeah.
But it's just the mana cost is hard, I guess, in that sort of format.
Yeah.
But then you have triomes now as well on this set as well.
Yeah, we've got the new triumphs. I was just looking there at the. Obviously, he's a collector of art, and I was looking at this artwork. I wonder whether or not any of these will be like meaningful pieces. He's got like 2 angel statues, a Medusa-looking picture. I don't know what this fucking woman's up to. There looks to be a little boy down here.
Yeah.
This sword he's just taken off of the wall. He's got another dagger on the wall. I wonder if any of these will be items in the set.
Maybe.
Like, will that sword be like a powerful equipment or something? I don't know.
That'd be good. Bit of flavour.
Yeah.
Andrew's throwing more suggestions at us, but yeah, this could be a horrible deck, correct? Like Turgrid, God of Fright. The one that.
Yeah, that's an easy one to sort of pair it with.
Yeah. They discard the cards in their hand, you get them into play.
Yeah.
So
when they sacrifice their stuff, you get them.
Yeah. And in being in red, black, and blue, there's a lot of effects that allow you to steal other people's creatures and cards and reanimate people's stuff. So yeah, you could just build this as I want to play your cards type of deck if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, this is what we do. We go into lots of detail about, especially cards like this, where it's obviously Commander, which is my favourite format still. But yeah, I could definitely see it as maybe a big one-off. You wouldn't run multiple of these in standard deck, would you? I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, the only way I can see it working would be as a control finisher, where you would only have a couple of them in the deck. You'd have a way of making sure you get to it at the end of the game when you need it. You win with it.
So
but even that, I don't
well,
know if that would work. It's just
Grixis colours are just you can just remove everything, you can damage everything, you can counter things. You can play that sort of card for card game where they're playing their threats, you're removing them until you're just ramping out to then play something like this. Grixis is great colours for that because it's very interactive. So yeah, great control colours. Although I haven't played a Grixis standard deck before, but maybe I have to give it a go. We'll see.
I'm trying to think if I ever have.
Grixis Pingers.
I must have done at some point. Grixis Pingers is clearly the classic. It's a shame that this does fuck all for Grixis Pingers.
Oh yeah, it's a shame. Who's the commander of that deck? Sorry.
That is Vile Smasher and Crown partners.
Yeah.
And it was more just to get the colours, and they are both just actually quite good.
Yeah.
Crown is actually really good, everyone. Like, go get it. Put Crown in anything.
Draws you cards for second spells, doesn't it? Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think whenever an opponent casts their second spell, you draw a card.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing loads of fucking spells. You get loads of cards.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone wants to kill Vile Smasher. Oh no, it's going to do damage. They kill that. They leave Crown. You have loads of cards. And then you can do nothing with your pingers and still lose.
Basically, Heuristic Study, just as good.
Essentially.
Cool. Yeah, so that's that. So that's that was a heated discussion going around. So like it.
So those two, so Jetmir and Zander, are both very big, prominent characters in the story. And then you've got Rafine, who pops up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think one of the side stories is sort of dedicated to Rafine a bit.
I do love this.
So
one,
Rafine
it's very interesting.
is the leader of the Obscura, who are like the um, spies sort of thing, and they know all the secrets. I think it's Obscura that do all the yeah, it's they have what's it like telepaths who can see the future, like seers sort of thing. Because yeah, one of the story, like the side stories about all of the seers at once receive a message, this weird like message from the angels.
All right.
Which probably, if you go back and reread the cryptic riddles, probably makes sense about what happened in the main story. There's some like cats either hiding cream or drinking cream. That's clearly the Halo. I can't remember what else there was, but I bet it all points to like Obnixilis, the font being. I can't remember what her name is now. What's her name? Not Jemima. It's an Italian name.
Jemima.
But yeah, and he's a sphinx. Like I said, these demons are not very demonish, as we know and love.
No, there's a creature type tacked onto
Like,
them, isn't there? That's the thing.
Yeah. I feel like they originally said, "Oh, it'd be cool if they were all owned by demons. Yeah, that'd be really good." And then they did it. Like, oh, we can't really just have like 5 classic demon characters.
Yeah. No.
So
yeah.
I think the way they say it worked is like all these people, like these were leaders, and they made some sort of demonic deal, which made them demons.
Yeah.
But they're just not overly demonic in appearance. Like Zander is quite, but still very vampiric.
Yeah, they've all got horns, haven't they? As you can see, horns protruding from their heads. I think by the looks of it.
Yeah.
That's more of a demonic thing.
But the cat has horns. Yeah.
Cat has horns.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously demons as we know them and as I like them are obviously mono black demons. You know that is how the classic demons used to be with the Liliana contract story and all that sort of thing. They were that's what I was hoping to have like a big mono black 6/6 flying trample demon behind each house, but then it doesn't make sense for that just to be a mono black. It needs to be the wedges. So maybe they looked at the colours and thought, what goes well in this Esper colour, which we've got now. Sphinx are blue, demons obviously black. What else is white? You know, and just go from there. So I'm interested to see what the next ones are. We haven't had any hints of that, have we, in the teaser? Obviously, we'll get to that
in the story, we know the Jund one is a dragon demon.
Oh yeah,
well, that's pretty fucking cool.
That's cool, yeah.
So I can. Annoyingly, he's another one that's just not really mentioned in the story. He pops up at the beginning with Vivian.
Yeah.
Doesn't talk to Vivian. Like Vivian just overhears him trying to rally his troops. Basically, like he's like king of the working class, and he's like, we need to start a revolution. Let's go up there and kill everyone.
Yeah.
Like, why do we work so hard and they get all the like rewards?
Yeah. Nice.
So
yeah,
but no hint of what his abilities might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got him, and who's the last one? Oh, the last one's like a big eagle, big Avon eagle who
Bird
writes.
demon.
They're like they're sort of like lawyers / enforcers. Like they run protection rackets and have a lot of law.
Could be an Avon. What they call?
Yeah.
Avon demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like a real thing? Avon demon?
Well, they have like the Avon mind sensors and the what are they called? They're called Avons, aren't they? There's a creature type. Or they just called birds. Bird soldier.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they just refer to as bird as creature. Their creature type is just bird, but they are Avon by name, I think.
Maybe that's what it is.
Let's check. No. Oh my god, we've gone into scarecrows.
How? How is that picked
we've
up?
Gone into foreign scarecrows.
Avon.
That's what this is.
So
it's
Avon is some sort of
Spaventa. Yeah, Spaventa Passeri.
Oh, there we are then.
Yeah, in Italian that is. So Italian scarecrows.
Learned something new today. If you want to Google scarecrows, type in Avon.
Yeah.
What about mind sensor? Type in mind sensor. Maybe that'll come up. Not easy.
If we just type it in as the name, there we are. Oh god, we've got Alrond. So yeah, Avens are just bird wizard.
Okay, there we are then. So yeah, maybe it's a bird demon and a dragon demon, which is cool. So yeah,
you must have some pictures of them somewhere. So yeah, so they're the. Oh, we didn't actually say what Rafine does, did we? So for white, blue, and black, you get a 1/4 legendary Sphinx demon with flying and ward 1. And whenever you attack, target attacking creature connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. And then connive means to draw X cards, then discard X cards, and put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each non-land card discarded this way.
There's a lot of stuff going on with that, though, isn't there? It cares about the number of attacking creatures, then pumping one creature and filtering for something you need. So that's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I don't know how that connive. Well, I guess connive X, because it's only X is the number of attacking creatures. I guess normally it'd just be like, I think just connive 2. So you draw 2, discard 2, and then put a +1/+1 counter on it for it. So I guess that's how it normally works.
Yeah.
It's just this one I feel is just a bit disjointed. It's like on one hand it wants you to be attack with one big creature, but to attack with one big creature you need to attack lots of little creatures. So I don't know, is that it? You meant to have like Esper tokens? You attack with a horde of 1/1s, but put all the tokens on all the +1/+1 counters on Rafine, who has flying, to just go over the top. I don't know. Is that what you meant to do?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, this could be good as obviously it costs 3 mana as well, which is quite cheap to play.
Yes.
But then blue, black, white flyers could be a good archetype to go into this if you've got a lot of little small flyers.
Yeah.
I don't know what else obviously is going to be in the set, but that could be a good little way to go. Blue, black, white flyers. We've got lots of little attackers.
I'm sure there'll be some good stuff in there.
Yeah. There's just a lot going on in it, but we haven't seen the rest of the set to understand what is conniving and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how connive works.
Yeah.
How many people are going to accidentally deck themselves in limited with connive? I don't know.
Conniving little shit. Yeah. I'm interested to play Arena with these cards when they get released. I haven't played in a while. Might have to start playing it. I'll scoop for whoever's listening.
I've got enough for like 20 drafts on there. I've stockpiled all my golden gems.
Oh, nice.
And I'm probably just going to blow it all on Streets of Capenna.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, seems like a good limited and standard. Potentially, we'll see. So yes, that's Rafine. So if we go back, we can see all of the tri-lands. We can see the names of the creatures.
Oh, yeah, they're down here somewhere.
So we can.
So we've got these cool full art lands.
Yeah,
they got
great.
Spoiled a long time ago. But yeah, here they are. There's the new triomes, which aren't triomes anymore.
Yeah, Jetmir. So Zander. So the other creature names are Spara and
So that's the Avon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Zeatora's the dragon. I think they mentioned something in the story stream that Commander... What are they called? Command Zone put out. I think they mentioned something about Zeatora was like just a dragon who then like realised how fun it is just to kill people or something weird like that. They're like...
just a violent bastard.
The backstory of how... Yeah, the backstory of like how they rose to power is like they were just like a nice, happy dragon. And that was it. Then they figured out how much fun it was fighting knights back in the old Capenna when it was like classic, like high fantasy. And this dragon was like, I just fucking love killing knights, and everyone was like, all right, mate. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill them all.
Calm down. Brilliant.
So that's how he sort of like gained his power. It's just been like, I'll fucking kill anything.
Oh, brilliant.
And so yeah, that's why he's like this working class dragon that just wants to go and kill and eat people. all the posh people.
Yeah. But yeah, it's nice to see that they've completed the cycle. Obviously, we saw these back in Ikoria. They've still all got cycling as well, so they're exactly the same functional card. Just
they have confirmed this is the only cycling in the set.
Okay.
Normally, like cycling would be like a big mechanic that fills the set, makes limited like it'll be a whole archetype in limited. I think they've near enough confirmed it's not that. They just wanted to reprint these lands.
Yeah.
They did it to make it work.
Exactly, yeah. It fits as to what's going on. The 5 tribes or 5 houses. Maybe they structured the whole Streets of New Capenna set on the fact they wanted these reprint or these lands printed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's good. It's good that we can have those in there. Obviously, they're all types as well, as we know.
Yes. Yeah, so they're fetchable. And yeah, so there's three arts for each of them.
Yeah.
So you got the sort of classic art, the extended arts, and then these sort of like
showcasey sort of thing.
What's the art? Yeah, the showcase, like Art Deco style.
Yeah. They're really nice, and obviously, as we come to expect now with Magic the Gathering, there is 3 types of different card, basically every set that you can pull out of collector boosters and all that sort of thing. So, you want to pimp out your decks, you can do, and you can still pull all these lovely, fancy old cards. So yeah, varying art styles, as you can see there, like Broker's Ascendancy. You got like sort of abstract style art, and then you've got the fantasy art. So, bling out your decks how you like.
So yeah, I guess Ascendancy is going to be another cycle.
Yep.
Like the old, there's the cycle of them on
Ravnica. Wasn't it?
No.
Was it not? No, we had like Simic Ascendancy, or was that no?
Simic Ascendancy was one all by itself. They did a Simic Ascendancy one, but all the rest were on Khans. When you had the 3 color Khans.
Yeah.
Like so you had Ascendancies there. So I'm guessing they're doing these here because again they're the opposites. The Khans were the same as the Triomes, like the wedge colors, and now these are the shard colors. So I think we're getting the other side of them.
Yeah, that'll be good. Cool. Obviously,
and then the last thing we've got are all these charms.
All the charms. Yeah.
Classic charms.
And these are great in in standard and limited because they just do so much for you. I don't know about EDH or anything. You know, obviously you can take that what you will, but I think in limited and standard these are ridiculously good because they can for function for loads of different things.
Yeah, I think it's just the versatility you get. They may not be like the best cost. You might be able to get do things cheaper with them, but it's the fact that you've got 3 different options. They're all instants, so you can do it sort of end of the opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Put whatever mode you need on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously 1 for each.
Yeah, and it gives you a nice little insight as to, especially at this stage of the spoilers, what each sort of house or what each sort of family is going to be doing potentially with the text on the cards.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, sometimes I don't think that's a particularly good nod because that just says 1 creature. You get a creature to fight, destroy an enchantment, or draw 2 cards. They're quite generic, but that they're derivatives. Fact, sacrificing might be a theme. That's quite a common theme.
Yeah.
That's a nice impulse draw. And the fact that exile target plays graveyard, is that going to matter? Is there is one of them quite graveyard themed? Yeah. I guess Rafine's going to be graveyard themed, isn't he? So the Obscura are.
Yeah, essentially.
So you think that's probably for your benefit? You're stacking your graveyard surely for some sort of benefit.
That makes sense, yeah, because obviously you're drawing cards and putting cards into your graveyard that you can access later. So yeah, that's a good shout actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just classic charms.
Classic charms, lovely. So yeah, not many cards to discuss, but I'm sure there will be, later on.
So yeah, tomorrow is official spoiler season start. So tomorrow is where we're suddenly going to get all the content creators putting out their preview cards, doing videos, doing stuff. So definitely there's going to be a lot to speak about soon and a lot to see soon.
Yeah. Cool.
And I personally liked having the story first because now I know the story, because more often than not I find that they're doing this story and it's building up, but then they just release the preview card. Oh, yep, Nixilus is here. Oh, look, this has happened. This is the font. And it just sort of spoils the story before we've got there.
Yeah, it makes sense. I know it can go either way, can't it? Because obviously you got flavor text on the story. As the cards come out, you can speculate as to what the story is. But I think it is definitely better to have everything, the story beforehand. So you don't get spoilers. You don't get, oh, what the fuck is Vorinclex doing here? He hasn't showed up on the story yet, or whatever.
Yeah.
And if stuff is leaked, I guess you can't really stop that. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I agree.
No.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, apparently a Vivian's been leaked. That's the one I've seen. A Vivian's been leaked.
Yeah.
But again,
yeah.
I still think leaks are all inside jobs. I still stand by that.
Yeah,
why is the leak Vivian? Of all the cards it could be in the set, it's a high profile planeswalker.
Yeah.
Not just generic rare.
Just gets people talking, doesn't it?
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's too coincidental that it's always a week before official spoilers start. It's always a really high profile character and like a card that should be a good standard playable card.
Yeah.
It's just too coincidental for me.
Andrew saying, wait, spoiler season stops? Yeah, because there's
that is an argument.
Yeah.
Because, well, yeah, spoiler season hasn't started yet we already have 15 cards or so that we know in the set.
Yeah.
And didn't we just finish getting some stuff for the Baldur's Gate? I swear we recently got something for the Commander products.
I think they secret layers, weren't they? Exclusive secret layer things, weren't they? Or am I thinking?
This here, Commander Legends.
Oh no, these things, yeah.
Or have we just? So again, we've started a spoiler season. No one knows how, what, where, when, or why.
Yeah.
We've been told that these lands are getting a reprint. Good. They're very good in Commander. We're getting Minsk and Boo.
Yeah.
With his hamster friend. These three classic, three classic red spells in D&D. Ancient Brass Dragon, again, if you know D&D, apparently very important.
Mm-hmm.
Good to have. And a Brain.
Elder Brain, yeah. Yeah, it's random, isn't it? It's
in fact, I do quite like these two black cards, actually.
Oh, yeah, Elder Brain.
Ancient Brass Dragon.
Yeah,
both 7 mana.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously going on tangents for plenty now, but Elder Brain goes on to a commander I've wanted to build for a while, and I think Josh as well wanted to build it for a while, and that's the Umbris Fear Manifest, which is cares about nightmares and horrors and exiling things.
Like that?
Yeah, this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever another nightmare or horror enters, exile cards till you exile a non-land. Till you exile a land. Obviously, the Elder Brain is a horror as well, so it slots right into this. But yeah, very random how all these cards are just appearing out of nowhere. Spoiler season never stops.
Well, yeah, that does look fun. That Umbris.
Yeah.
But again, it does feel like there's just so much now.
Yeah, there is.
And that is partly why I did definitely get burnt out before. Sort of like when we were coming up to the end of doing the podcast before, it just was because constantly every week it was, oh, we're going to talk about something normal. Oh no, wait, they've just released 10 new cards randomly for a set that it's not in relation. These cards here, I have no idea when the rest of these cards are coming out. There's no information here that tells you when they're coming out. But why was this just given to us on the 25th of March, 2 weeks ago? They decided to just drop these cards.
Yeah.
And then say, yeah, you'll get some more eventually.
Yeah. That's what I mean, though. It's because obviously we're at that stage now of Magic. It's it's a good thing as well, maybe to bring the weekly thing back, because obviously there's always something going on. There's always something to delve into, which I think is good. But yeah. Yeah, everyone needs a break. Everyone needs to recharge, play other games, experience other things, and then come back to stuff like this. But yeah, first. Well, I think that's we've had multiple tangents already, but yeah. Spoiler season never stops, Andrew. Yes, you are correct. So as you can see there, there's a smattering of different cars from different products in the future. But yeah. What's next on the agenda then? Maybe a few speculations?
Speculations.
As to what's going on? Because we have a teaser, don't we? We have a Maro teaser. There's a few things on there. That
my god! As if I'd forgotten about that. Oh
yeah.
my days! Where even can I find that? Maro teaser.
Yeah, we'll just skim through that.
What's it called? New.
So there'll be a few things on there which are going to be quite interesting. There always is. Here we go.
Ba 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 bum bum bum. 5 mana costs using existing mana symbols that we've never used before.
What does that mean? 5 mana costs.
I think that just means like 5 things that are unique. So like this below says 13 black. I think that in itself would be like a unique.
Right, a unique number.
Mana cost.
Yeah.
So like it'd be like combinations that we've not seen before.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I think is what it means, but
it'll probably
so
be
I have
like
no idea what they are.
like the wedge. It'll probably be the wedge like colours, but maybe like 2 of each, 2 of one colour, like red, green, black for the Jund one, or something like that.
Yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah, like the old ultimatums.
Yeah, something
but
like
instead
that.
of being 7 mana, like say maybe they're going to go the other way and make it only 5 mana.
Oh wait,
or something like that.
Yeah. What colours were the ultimatums? They were the old wedges, weren't they?
They were the same.
Oh, they were.
They were these ones. They were these ones. So it was Grixis ultimatum.
Was it?
But they were like red, black, blue. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They then did do some more ultimatums eventually, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, Nicoria, like Emergent Ultimatum and.
They did, yeah. So here's the original ones, like Cruel Ultimatum, Clarion, and Brilliant. They're the old ones. Then Eerie, Emergent, and Genesis are the new ones.
What? So we don't have. Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we do have a John down there.
So we do have. But whether or not you say the opposite, what if we have black, just 1 red and 2 green? What if it's like that? Maybe they mix this up a little bit. Yeah. They're maybe a bit weaker. They're only 5 mana rather than 7.
Yeah, that could be good. Yeah.
How different? Look, Violent Ultimatum, destroy 3 permanents. Ruinous Ultimatum, destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control.
Mardu is better than Jun, though, to be honest. That's why.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's ridiculous. All your opponents control as well is stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, definitely. The next one is really interesting, though. 13 black. What is that going to be?
Oh God, I've lost the thing. Yeah, 13 black.
That sounds like fun to me.
Obnixless. Please let that just be Obnixless.
And he costs 1 less for each for each something or other. For each life you've lost this turn or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm guessing there'll be something like that. I'm sure that it'll be reduced by some element, or you can like pay life to reduce the cost, or you can mill yourself to pay the cost. There'll be some. I'm sure there must be something to reduce that down a bit.
Yeah, there'll be a payoff with one of the new mechanics. Maybe there's a lot of speculation going around that it could be Delve.
Oh yeah, I did see that. It could be Delve coming back.
Yeah, because it works with was it Ravine, the Sphinx? So obviously you're discarding a lot of cards, so maybe you can delve them away to then pay for this.
So maybe I personally hope not. I'm not a big fan of Delve.
No, I'm not either.
It's just too. It's all too good in a way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Mechanic who tried to get in multiple sets
finally finds a home. So this could literally be anything, but it could even be something like they've they might have done it like as a almost like one-off, like in a commander thing, and now they finally managed to make it into like a full-fledged mechanic or something. I don't know, but
yeah, it says they've tried to get it into numerous sets though, which is the is the thing. So what? No, I can't think of anything that really comes to mind which hasn't really felt like it should have been there, but maybe they're trying to flesh it out in this one.
Unless it's just connive. maybe they're trying to find a home for that, and it's not
Oh, right,
worked for
maybe.
various
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah, it doesn't say they used it
And
already,
now it
does it?
is.
No.
No.
I reckon this creature type theme for a draft archetype has to be demon. I reckon.
No.
Maybe not. Maybe not then.
Only because like they first made it sound as if New Capenna was going to be like loads and loads of demons everywhere, but it doesn't seem to be that way.
Yeah.
Like there's 5 demons, like in the story at least. Anyway, it's not like there's 5 demons and they've got loads of like little demon underlings
That's right.
and
True.
things. A creature type.
Never been used.
So what type of creature? So we've seen in the story, we've seen Avens, we saw Viashinu, we saw
What's the
obviously
Broker's
demons.
Ascendancy? What's the Broker's Ascendancy picture got on it?
God, how do we get back to that now?
Here we are.
So they had rocks could be the rhino people.
Yeah.
Rocks, the cat folk. What are they called? Leonin. People.
And the birds.
Avens.
Yeah. Well, no,
There
Avens.
are cephalids in the set.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah.
So it could be cephalids.
That'd be great
They've got a new look. They're sort of like bioluminescent, sort of rather than the other ones used to be sort of quite octopusy.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones aren't so much. So I'm not sure. Maybe that's maybe a creature type. Maybe it's cephalids.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I feel like it needs to be for it to be I don't know, a draft archetype. I guess it could just be like 2 or 3 colors. Like it could just have cephalids across 3 colors, and that'd be the archetype.
Yeah, potentially.
That's what I'm going for anyway.
Yeah. Red creature that makes token copies of creatures you control. This has got to be something like Felden, or some sort of red impulsive, something that creates tokens, but then you sack them or exile them at the end of turn. That's
You'd think so.
Yeah, that's sort of red token generation we've come to expect.
But making actual token copies of actual creatures, that could be quite powerful.
Yeah.
Like, even if it is just for 1 turn. A card that adds white, white, blue, blue, black, black, red, red, green, green. I'm guessing this is going to be like, yeah. I'm guessing this is going to be the font. This is going to be, you've overdosed on Halo. Add white, white, blue, blue. Add Wooburg twice.
Yeah, it's got to be. But yeah, there's another card that adds ridiculous colours. We've seen that before. A mechanic which premiered in the standard legal set in the 2000s and sees a return to standard. So a mechanic first premiered in a standard legal set. Oh, what's that going to be?
Gee, that could be anything.
Could be anything.
What sets came out in the 2000s? Any idea? Oh my god, 2000s was so long ago.
They were. Wow, look at all that product.
We are so old.
Yeah, so it's anything from here, isn't it? Oh my goodness me.
Yeah. Yes. So anything from Nemesis and Prophecy, Invasion, Plane Shift, Apocalypse, 7th set, Odyssey.
Oh, those were the days.
Which were like cephalid days, wasn't it, back there?
Yeah, Odyssey, Mirari, was.
Yeah, Torment, Judgment.
Yeah, those were the days. That's when we was playing. Legions.
Yeah.
Oh, Legions and Scourge had a weird mechanic in
them. Yes,
there's
some classics.
Yeah, they had some weird mechanics that cared about creature types. So maybe there's one of those in there potentially. There's one called I think it was called what was it called? Amplify. It was called
Amplify.
So basically, when you played the creature, you reveal any number of cards from your hand that share a creature type with it, and then your creature that you've played gets +1 counter for each one, basically. Here we go.
Ah, right, yes, yeah.
What creature types have we got there? We've only got a dragon, and we've got a bird.
Bird, beast, soldier, zombie, beast, dragon, zombie.
Yeah. So as you can see, legions, that was the main thing there in that set. So yeah, that could be an interesting one if we care about creature types.
Could be like an amplify. That'd be quite fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be anything, couldn't it? But yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, original Ravnica was just there. Ravnica City of Guilds.
Yeah.
Oh, original Kamigawa.
Original Kamigawa.
Yeah. Or original Mirrodin.
Mirrodin and
Jeez,
Darksteel Affinity. Maybe Affinity.
Yeah. Jeez. I don't think... It just doesn't feel like very, like... Then again, the whole plane is, like, man-made, effectively, so artifice could be quite rife.
Yeah.
But
what else we got? Scroll up a little bit more.
So we get there. Cold Snap, Time Spiral.
Chaos. Wow, this is weird magic going on here.
Yeah.
Lorwyn.
10th edition. Lorwyn, that's when Planeswalkers first started, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lorwyn was where the first ones were, I think. No. Yes.
Shadowmoor.
Maybe.
Persist. Had some weird things going on there, didn't they? Morning Tide, yeah. Maybe it's the untap mechanics. Remember in Morning Tide and that you could untap your creatures.
The untap.
Yeah.
Jeez. And then even Shards of Alara back when the original Shards.
Oh, is there any mechanics
back in 2008
that could make an appearance, do you think? Because it's obviously...
I can't remember what was it? Exalted? That could be one. Who would...
Well, yeah, because obviously
maybe the brokers.
The seer one cares about putting +1 counters on one creature, so maybe Exalted.
Original Elspeth. Did she have any idea what she'd be getting up to?
It's not cycling. Exalted, maybe.
Again. Unearth. I very much doubt that. None of the storylines seem to imply that any of them were unearthing each other.
No, that's true. Got more Exalted there. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Who knows?
God, so many great cards.
That's ridiculous,
Love.
isn't it?
Alara's where I started. That's the where I first set I had. And it is the best set of Magic ever. Hands down.
The art as well is all brilliant as well.
Yeah. Viashino's are in it. It was...
Yeah. So that could be anything. That could be anything, can there?
Devour. Devour was in there somewhere.
Devour, yeah. Devour.
There, Devour 2.
That's a very Jund thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe Devour. Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, that could be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we get? A card that makes cat and dog tokens.
There we are then. That'll work with the cat demon guy, I expect.
Yeah.
Tokens and creatures you control and stuff.
We've definitely got Leonin in the set.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if it's like stray cats and dogs. It's like the theme behind it. Now it's like in a big city. Is there just loads of like strays running around?
Just a land that's like a rescue centre and just spews out animals that are getting rescued. I don't know.
Exactly.
What's it say? A draft theme of caring about a threshold in a graveyard we haven't cared about before. A threshold in a graveyard. So that's what, maybe a certain amount of card types in a grave or something.
Yeah, that's what it means. It's like if you have at least 4 instants, or if you've got how many different card types, or if you've got different creatures with different power or something.
Yeah. That would make sense.
So it'd be interesting to see. But it's something we haven't cared about before. So let's just go for creatures with different toughness.
Yeah,
that sounds like something random they've never done before. Multiple white cards. Capable of drawing a card each turn. What?
That's ridiculous.
What's the drawback going to be on them?
There is none. It's just basically like Rhystic Study, but it costs 2 less mana to play, and you draw 4 cards instead per turn, depending on the amount of cards in the opponent's hand, or something.
This is their way of powering white back up.
That's got to be in there. Yeah. Interesting. Obviously, commander piece, I expect, but we'll see what that is. Next, there are some
Here's
rules
some
text.
rules text. So we've got then if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Well, you'd better hope it's a fucking good card. Getting 10 creatures is a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be some sort of yeah, it could be a commander card, I expect. Some sort of payoff for having loads of creatures. But yeah, what is the exiled card? Is it something you've foretold, like a foretell sort of type thing?
Yeah.
You
Is
exile
it
and
something you've searched from your library? Is it something you've... Do you exile it from the opponent's hand or something? Like, this is like, obviously this is like the second part of a spell.
Yeah.
So it can be like exile a card from the opponent's hand. Maybe create a token. Then if you control 10 or more creatures, you play the exile card without paying its mana cost. I don't know, I don't know what sits before that.
Cool. But yeah.
Oh god, what is this? Copy target spell you control that wasn't cast. How do you even control a spell that wasn't cast?
Suspend. You can suspend things, can't you? Oh no, does it still cast it? I don't know, I can't remember. I think it does.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know. What is that trying to get you to do? There's got to be something. There's got to be something.
Yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it?
Didn't cast.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dunno.
There's an additional cost to cast this spell. Sacrifice a creature, discard a card, or pay 4 life. Okay, what's that? That's pretty good. So there's a bit of downside on there. So that could be... Yeah, that could be quite good, depending on what that spell is. Because you have to sacrifice a creature, discard a card, or pay 4 life. So that's quite a lot of downside.
I reckon this might be like a big Jund beater. Like it's something that is like literally like red, black, and green, but it's like a 6/6. Maybe not quite 6, maybe that's a bit too high. But is it like just a big 3 mana?
Yeah.
Well, they in Alara they had the Naya one for red, white, and green. You just got 5/4. I don't think it had trample or anything like that, but it was just a huge body.
For the cost, yeah. Probably what it is. It's probably an accelerated. Just a big creature that you can drop early because of the downside.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
But as we know, oh no, it's such a downside to discard something and then reanimate it.
Oh yeah.
Ain't a fucking downside.
Or sack a creature, or crappy, dog token or something you've got to get a big thing. It's like in Strixhaven, there was that big Demogoth Titan or something, which said at the beginning of your turn you have to sack a creature or something like that. But it was like a 9/11 trample or something. I can't remember what it was, but aggressively costed, but some sort of downside. So yes, that'd be interesting. And it says another one: if exactly 3 colours of mana were spent to activate this ability, so that's a payoff for your houses, isn't it?
Yeah, something for being in a tricolour.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can only assume that's not good enough for standard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Only because I feel like then it'll be too abusable. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's maybe a cycle. That's like a good payoff and limited.
Yeah, maybe like a mana rock or something that if you spend 3 colours of mana to activate it, you draw cards or something. I don't know. Yeah, it could be anything. Couldn't it? Create a 1/1 blue fish. Here we go. Straight in Jalera.
Exactly. That's what I was hoping. As soon as I saw that, I thought, damn, she's getting upgrades. We're getting cephalids. We're getting 1/1 blue fish creature token.
Then you can
We're ready to go
into big blue things. Yeah, love it.
Exactly. Well, that's what we really need, is some polymorph targets for Jalera.
That's what we need, yeah. Just yeah. Well, hopefully we're getting it here. We'll see. It just depends what it comes on. Create a 1/1 bluefish creature token. Part of a rules text.
Exactly.
Could be anything. When you cast this spell, copy it.
Nice. Hopefully that's it. I hope that is literally it.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Like that commander that's like is it 0 cost and is it 0/1, but it's got haste first strike and
Oh, the
who is
kobold
it?
thing.
Yeah.
Rograk.
Hopefully this is like that.
Yeah.
Or didn't they make a spell for modern, like in Modern Horizons, and it is literally like this spell does nothing, but it has like cascade. It just has all like these weird things. Just like the idea is you use it to get loads of triggers, but it doesn't actually do anything by itself.
Yeah.
I cannot remember what it is at all. I don't even know how I'd start trying to find it.
No. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think you're right though. I think there is something like that.
Yeah, I thought they did something weird with it, and it was just like this. The spell just did nothing.
Yeah. Wooburg, and then tap and sacrifice card name. So maybe that's referring to itself or.
Yeah. When they use card name like that means itself.
Itself, right?
So, sweet. What's the payoff going to be for that? Maybe that's going to be the font. The Wooburg tap, sacrifice it, make 50 Halo tokens.
Yeah. And what do Halo tokens do?
Mate, I don't know. Sack 'em to gain 1 life or something. I don't know. It'll be shit.
Yeah. Gain a life, like a food token, basically. Yeah. Just a. Maybe that is what it is. Wooburg, sacrifice it, because obviously you can do that with treasure tokens and food tokens. You pay a cost and sack it. Maybe this is a token generated from something like a Halo or whatever. Andrew is saying Throes of Chaos. He believes the spell is that does nothing in modern.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
See,
Yeah.
Andrew, how do you know all this shit? Throws off.
I think you spell throws with E. Yeah.
Like that.
No, without W.
What?
Without
like
the W.
That?
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Oh yeah, just cascade and retrace. That's it. Nothing else. 4 mana. Cast it to exile stuff on the top to get something else. Cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a land card in addition to paying its other costs.
Yeah.
So that's it, yeah. Just keep cascading into more things.
Yeah, just keyword card.
But a fun,
weird
little... Just, I like it. A fun little...
yeah.
Design. It's just a weird design. Like, who wrote that down and said, "Let's make this"?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? But yeah, I'm saying that Wooburg tap sacrifice is a token. We'll see.
Yeah.
Where X is number of permanents you've sacrificed this turn. Wow. Okay, what's that going to be? So there's definitely some aristocrat style stuff in here then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Devourer is coming back.
Yeah.
Because that was sacrifice, self-sacrifice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Where X is number of permanents. Because there was something like that as well. Like Michaeloff had Devour.
Yeah.
Devour 2, and then maybe it's like Devour X, where X is number of permanents you sacked this turn. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, that's definitely a Devour mechanic. Could fit into that strategy. Yeah.
Definitely. We've got another one. Count the colours of sacrifice creature. Ooh. So another sacrificial element.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you reckon it's then I reckon it'll be then add that amount of mana to your mana pool or something.
Count the colours.
Like this one.
Yeah. So you
sack. So if there's 3 colours, you get.
Yeah.
You get 3 mana. Mm-hmm. That's all the only thing I can think this would be.
Yeah, that'd be quite good.
And again, you may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana cost. What? Any number?
Any number of copies without paying the mana. That's ridiculous.
Surely it's got to then have after that, like, for each copy, you lose 10 life or something. There's got to be something. There's got to be some drawback to that.
You may cast a number of the copies without paying their mana costs. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that is. Because it has to be a targeted removal spell, because you can cast any number of copies that remove maybe a certain thing, like creatures or enchantments or something. Because you could just choose infinite number, but obviously, you need to have a target, of course. So I reckon it's going to be some sort of target.
But what about just like lightning bolt or like shock? Just deal 2 damage to them enough times to win. Like, what's the what? I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be some sort of target.
Very
removal.
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Then we've got some weird creature types as well.
We've got Devil Warrior. I didn't notice any devils pop up in the story anywhere.
No.
I'm guessing they're in Jund. Maybe the Jund ones. Yeah.
There are some
Devil
weird
Warrior.
creature types in this list here. The fact
Yes.
that it just feels like a Coria all over again with regards to the mixtures of things coming on here.
Yeah. Getting some weird things. Raccoon Rogue. So Raccoon Folk is a new type here.
Raccoon.
So they're like what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Rocket.
Rocket, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they look like in the story. So.
That's funny.
Yeah, and
Raccoon Rogue. Yeah.
So.
Never seen a raccoon on a card before, have we? Creature type raccoon.
I don't think so.
No.
I think raccoon's new.
Bird assassin, yeah. Like we've seen birds, we've seen assassins, I think, before. So that's interesting. Obviously, that fits into the.
So that's part of the brokers. That's what they do. Not Obscura. I think they are just called brokers. Actually, I think that's the name of the guild, the Broker Guild. Plant dinosaur. Colour me interested.
Plant dinosaur.
I hope that is good. I hope that's good. That sounds to me in Jetmir's garden, I reckon. So that'd be Naya.
Yeah, it's got to be on that.
Treasure dog.
What is going on?
Pretty sweet.
Treasure dog.
Yeah. So a living dog statue, maybe? I don't know.
This also works with Revel in Riches as well. When if you control any amount of treasures, you win the game.
Yes.
So you could secretly get treasure dogs in there to fulfill your win con rather than just actual treasure tokens.
No one suspects the treasure dog.
Or is it the whenever Captain Lannery Storm attacks, you can sack any number of treasures, and Captain Lannery Storm gets +1 for each treasure sacrificed this way. You can sacrifice the dogs.
Exactly.
So, but in Commander, you only have one, so that's garbage, really. So forget that.
Unless you then use this like a weird clone deck to make millions of them.
Treasure dogs,
Secret win con.
Yeah.
Is our good friend Captain Lannery.
Yeah, it could work. Angel Warrior artifact creature.
Warrior.
Platinum Angel coming.
So the imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So the story heavily implied that all the angels were dead. But here's one here.
Angel Warrior artifact creature.
I'm guessing it's one of the statues, and it'll be like if you've done something, if you've consumed a fuck ton of Halo this turn, you hallucinate and the angel becomes alive.
Oh, brilliant.
The first one we actually know the answer to, Legendary Sphinx Demon, was our friend Rafine.
That's right, yeah.
So you got there. Legendary Cat Citizen. That is probably Jetmir's assistant woman, who is like the bodyguard to the font, to the I wish I could remember her name. It's not Jemima, but It's something.
I don't know who you're referring to there actually.
No, but it's the one who can make the halo.
Ah, right. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if that is legendary cephalid advisor.
Cool.
So
See what
that'd
we
be
get
one
there.
of the Obscura. Obscuras? Yeah. One of the Obscura clan. Probably the one that's in the story. There is one in the story that's quite prominent. So that's probably that one.
I wonder if it'll be multiple colours, whether it'll just be blue, the cephalid.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether they'll have like cephalids are blue, but cephalids can appear in any of the families that have got blue in them,
Yeah.
or whether or not cephalids will be in this family and they can be one of the three colours.
That's family only. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be
Because they are
interesting
very
to see how
blue.
that works.
There's no other cephalids that are multiple colours. So
I don't think so. I think historically they were only blue.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
That's a lot of blue.
And that's the only ones as well that you can use.
Yeah.
That's the only cephalids that
Not
exist.
there weren't many of them.
So you could
Aboshan.
Yeah, Abishan and Lalawan. You might be able to make
Yes.
a cephalid deck.
I hope so. That goes for my deep sea tribe. Not what do we call it? Coral reef tribal or something.
Tribal, yeah.
Yeah, obviously you can see these are very sort of octopus
Squid folk
style, aren't they?
Yeah.
Squid folk.
Yeah, that's good that we're going to see those again. I like cephalids, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. Well, we're going. Is it the next set we go back to Brothers? No, is it Dominaria Reunited next?
I think it might be. Yeah.
Do you know? It's either Dominaria Reunited or Brothers War next. I think it's the Dominaria Reunited, so we're going back there. So obviously there's cephalids there. Cephalids back in the Brothers War. So I reckon we're going to get more cephalids again soon, and this is our little teaser.
Yeah, that'll be good. So stock up on your cephalids, people. They're going to get like vampires. Going to get a lot of them, I think, soon.
Yes.
And then
the final one is our friend Zander.
It is indeed.
And then confirmation.
Well. Yeah.
Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So I think that's about sort of 5 p.m. UK time.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, we should get the Streets of Capenna debut. So that's like that. The nice big video coverage where it's like the scripted style one that's got all the introductions and lots of these are the mechanics, these are the creatures, these are lots of like sort of background bits showing us what the set's like.
Yeah, so all of our speculations that we just made there could be completely defunct by tomorrow.
Yes, unfortunately so.
But yeah.
And I don't know if that's when they'll also then give us. You know, they do like the cinematic trailers. I don't know whether we get that during that video tomorrow.
I reckon so. Yeah, it's a good way to start it, isn't it? And then it just transitions to normally Jimmy Wong, the host, or one of the Command Zone guys, host it now, don't they?
Yeah.
I think most of the time they did the last one. I think.
Yeah, they do seem to have settled on. Is it him and is it Becca Scott? Her name who does it with her?
Yeah,
I think. Sorry if I've got that wrong.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think she does the Dungeons and Dragons streams and stuff, doesn't she? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we are. That was the teasers.
But overall, an exciting set.
Oh yeah, looks like.
Oh, another exciting thing about this one. For the first time in a very long time, the paper release is coming before the digital release. So you can go to your shops, you can play in the pre-release and have a proper, genuine, new experience there. Not turn up to your pre-release thinking, hey, look, no one knows what these cards are. And Jeff sat next to you has ripped through 50 sealed pools already on Arena. Like you're all like you should all be sat there genuinely fresh-faced. No one's played with these cards before, which will be good.
Yeah, again, it also gives you that feeling that obviously you're going to the shop, you don't know what you're going to crack, you don't have any idea as to. Obviously, you're going to see would have seen the set being spoiled, but you know you wouldn't have had any prior experience as to drafting these sets or doing limited with these sets. So again, everyone's on the same wavelength right from the off. And if that contributes towards the experience or points that you get towards the climbing the, to the pro tour and all that sort of thing, then yeah, that's good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's where we've got to there. So we had the story. The debut video and previews begin. Previews be complete in a week. That's shorter than normal, isn't it? Normally we have 2 weeks of previews.
Yeah, so next Friday all of the previews will be done.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're going to start tomorrow. Just over a week's time, we'll get everything. Which I think it's good because I think I do normally find like during the second week, you sort of get a bit bored. You just new cards. Whereas I think just squashing it in 1 week keeps things really exciting. And then got Commander previews the week after that. And their in-store pre-releases on the 22nd. And then Magic Arena and online releases on the 28th. Well, it looks like that's when we get the trailer then. I'm guessing that's going to be the cinematic style trailer.
Yeah.
On the 28th. And then you've got Commander launch parties, game days, and store championships. Who cares?
So if we continue on the same vein then, this time next week is the 13th, so we'll probably have a fair few things, but only maybe a few things missing from the actual set.
Yeah, so I assume they'll keep a few big things for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
But we'll have most of the set out by then.
Yeah.
To look at.
Nice.
And then whatever crazy going on happens in the community.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. But
there's always something.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know how. Every week it surprises me that there's something new that's caused issues.
Yeah.
People been paid too much. People not been paid enough. Are wizards trying to tell us to take drugs at our LGS? Who knows anymore?
No, it's interesting to get back into it though, and obviously I've been exposed to it on Twitter because I'm quite active on there now. So you still get these posts coming.
Where can we follow you on Twitter, Aaron?
Go Again Gaming AZ. Go Again Gaming as. Didn't allow me to have the double Z on the end, which is a bit shit. But hey ho.
Was that too long? Is that the longest you can have it? Is it?
I think it might be. Yeah. I could put GAG as, but then it's like gag as, and it's just like.
That's a very different clientele.
Different clientele. Onlyfans.com or something.
That should be what your OnlyFans name is.
Gagaz. Yeah, it should be, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Let's see if it's taken.
Oh dear, brilliant. But yeah, we'll be doing this more often. So we'll try and keep it to a weekly thing. Again, there's always stuff happening in this Magic the Gathering sphere, so there'll always be so much to talk about. Whether it's a long one, this isn't really a long one in comparison to what we used to do, but yeah, there'll always be so much to speak about.
We've gone through 50 jumpstart decks before.
We have, yeah. We sillily thought that we could do the whole jumpstart set in one episode, and then we were just like, "No, we can't do this. Need to do another one."
Yes.
So, just take it as it comes. So it's good to speak about this game again after playing nothing but Flesh and Blood over the last year. But you'll see a lot more variety content on this channel going forward. So, including this little segment, and maybe more in the future. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Tom.
No problem, Aaron. Thank you very much for inviting me.
No,
It's been lovely.
Yeah, it's been lovely, and I'm sure we'll do it again. Well, we will do it again because there's always going to be something to speak about. So, lovely old job. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.